Greetings, I am the Wrestling Fan. I may not be the best wrestling fan, but I am the finest. And welcome to another rendition of The Wrestling Fan. Shoot song. Oh, shit! I shot the music dead. Alright, so what am I shooting all over this time? Okay. Let me explain what Hall of Fame fans means. Every year since 2004, they started the Hall of Fame to where fans could, come out and enjoy it with the wrestlers' families, whoever was going to be inducted, whoever the current roster of wrestlers are, and I think it's a good idea. It's a nice way to to give back to the fans, and to have them there to cheer on, the right people, and to be there for such an wonderful moment in that wrestlers, managers, whatever's, life. But recently, WrestleMania 29 happened, and the Hall of Fame happened the night before, and the New Jersey crowd is now become legendary for what they did on Monday Night Raw. They also become legendary for what they did at the Hall of Fame ceremony. And I don't mean legendary in a good way. I didn't want to comment on this until I was able to watch the entire Hall of Fame. And it disgusted me as a fan. It made me embarrassed to call myself a wrestling fan. Now, this is mainly me shooting on the New Jersey fans, but over the years, I love watching the Hall of Fame ceremony. There's some people I don't really care about and I skip anyway, but eventually I may watch them, and sometimes the fans are awesome, and sometimes the fans are just rude. But I'll go ahead and focus on the New Jersey fans. What the fuck, people? I mean, look, I had a lot of fun watching Monday Night Raw, and I've been meaning to comment on this too. Where were you guys for WrestleMania? Like, the Raw crowd was awesome sometimes a little annoying, but they were awesome the whole night. They made that show amazing. WrestleMania 29, I mean, yeah, you guys were there for Undertaker and Punk, but where were you for, like, Triple H and Brock Lesnar, and even Cena and Rock for the WWE title? You guys were just dead, and you failed at living up to, Miami's crowd from WrestleMania 28, and you definitely failed to live up to what you wore on Raw the next night. But I digress. The Hall of Fame ceremony had, a ton of great people this year. Mick Foley, Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Trish Stratus, Booker T, and yes, Donald Trump. And, the first one I watched was Mick Foley because he was the one I was really looking forward to watching. And his Hall of Fame induction speech was good. But I don't get this. As a fan, you want to go there to listen to what this person has to say. I mean, when they come out and saying, like, thank you, Foley, I get that. At the end of it, cheering and being loud and everything and screaming, like, I love you, Mick Foley, and stuff like that. As a fan, you go to have a good time, and you should have a good time. But then there are these rude-ass fucking people that in the middle of this wrestler's speech, a wrestler that they paid to see talk. It's like going to a movie and then talking on your cell phone the whole time. It's ridiculous. In the middle of it, I'm Mick Foley, and I love you, Mick Foley! And then they have to stop and say something to that fan or just completely ignore it. But who are you? Who do you think you are to do that to someone who's having a wonderful moment in their life? For them, their friends, their family that are there. What rude-ass piece of shit are you that, when the Blu-ray comes out, I'll be able to hear myself. Yay, I'll be somebody. You're a piece of shit. That's what you are. And this has been bothering me for years, but the New Jersey crowd pissed me off the most. I mean, why did you have to boo Donald Trump and Vince McMahon inducting Donald Trump? He's done a lot for wrestling. He hosted at Trump Plaza at WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 5, and then WrestleMania 23. And hell, he was doing more appearances on Raw than The Rock has over the past 5 years. But no, we still gotta cheer The Rock though, right? Because he's The Rock. I mean, I understand people like booing Drew Carey. I thought I liked Drew Carey, but that was a bullshit induction to the Hall of Fame. That was stupid. But Donald Trump, really? He's a nice guy by the looks of it. He's done a lot for the WWE, and WWE has done a lot for him. Fuck you people for booing him. Why? Because you just felt like it? Because he wasn't a wrestler? Who are you? You're just a fucking fan. You paid to hear these people. Listen to them, cheer when appropriate, and then shut your goddamn mouth. This has been bothering me for years, and like Trish Stratus during her Hall of Fame induction, yeah, okay, the first time she robbed her husband, the crowd booed. It was funny. But then they booed him like another 5 or 6 times when all she's trying to do is thank her husband for years of support, and that's the love of her life. I mean, fuck you people for booing her for that long, and then all of a sudden, they cheer him. You guys are idiots. I mean, probably most of you are drunk idiots. And I know the entire crowd didn't do this, I know, but it certainly felt that way. Watching it. I don't get why you would try basically make the Hall of Fame about the fans. The Hall of Fame isn't about the fans, you idiots. It's about the wrestlers being inducted. It's about the WWE. You're lucky that they allow you to be there. You're very lucky. They could just have it in a private ceremony and then sell it on Blu-ray and DVD. And after what I saw, the atrocity that was the New Jersey crowd for this Hall of Fame induction, I kind of wish they would start doing that. I mean, for most of the wrestlers, they were polite and they listened and everything like that. But then, like, suddenly there'd be some jack-off in the middle of it, like, "Oh, I love you!" Or they would start chants, like, in the middle of Mick Foley's, they started a CM Punk chant. And even CM Punk was sitting there like, "Okay, guys, you need to fucking stop." I mean, it wasn't WrestleMania, guys. It was Mick Foley's time. Yeah, CM Punk was on the stage, did the 1, 2, 3. And for any of you that are pissed off that CM Punk intruded on that personal moment between Chris Jericho and Mick Foley, where Mick Foley finally beat Chris Jericho, well, number one, it wasn't a private moment because it was in front of thousands of people and eventually millions of people when they buy the Blu-ray or DVD, so shut up. And CM Punk's a friend to both. I doubt they cared. Hell, they probably enjoyed it. They probably loved it. But then they start chanting CM Punk. It's like, okay, it's not Mick Foley's time, you morons. I'm sorry, it's not CM Punk's time. It's Mick Foley's time. It's his induction to the Hall of Fame. You're just making... God, I'm sorry. It's just... I'm just whining like a little bitch. But even in Hall of Fame years past, I mean, just people screaming out random things in the middle of someone's speech just to hear themselves later on the Blu-ray or DVD, or just to be like, "Yeah, that was me. I made it funny." You guys are poor excuses for fans. You're not fans. You sit down, you applaud, you go crazy when they come out, you fucking listen to them, you applaud when necessary if they mention a wrestler you like or something. I get that. That's fine. I do the same thing. But when they're talking, you shut your goddamn mouth. That's what you're supposed to do. And you listen to these people who gave everything they had to the wrestling industry. And this is their night to be celebrated. It's not a night to where the fans are supposed to be celebrated. It's not the Hall of Fame for the fans, okay? It's the Hall of Fame for these hardworking men and women. And look, I'm not a part of the company, anything else like that. I'm sure I never will be. But this pisses me off. Because when I watch the Hall of Fame, I want to hear what the wrestler has to say. I want to hear what the managers have to say. I want to hear what all of the inductees have to say. Not random bullshit chants from the audience because they feel like it, or because they had too much to drink, or because they want to make it all about themselves. Fans like that make me sick. Okay? This isn't Raw, this isn't SmackDown, this isn't a live event. Go crazy during those, okay? That's fine. Not during a Hall of Fame induction. It's like WrestleMania's past, like every year I've watched, there's always been jack-offs. And sometimes, like, I remember during Edge's induction last year, like, the crowd was quiet. And it was my favorite induction speech of all time from him. Like, it was just funny, and it was different, and it was long, and he thanked it was just great. And the crowd was pretty quiet. Like, they would cheer for certain parts, but Miami was a very well-mannered crowd that night for most of the inductions. And every year, I mean, it's never been as bad as New Jersey. I'll go ahead and clear that out. You people sucked that night. And in case anyone from New Jersey sees this and they're like, "Hey, I was there and I was a nice fan." If you were, fantastic. But you should be ashamed of the people that were around you booing the person who inducted Bob Backlund, or being quiet during her thing. I can't remember, but it's just ridiculous. And it embarrasses me. So, for the first time ever, I'm shooting on the fans. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. It's not a big deal, but to me it's bullshit. It's a private moment in front of the world. Doesn't mean that you have to intrude on it. It's like people who feel entitled, like, well, yeah, that celebrity's eating at a table, or I'm sorry, eating at a restaurant, he's sitting at a table with his family, but I need to go get an autograph. So I'm going to be selfish and interrupt his meal because he owes it to me. I bought a ticket to his last movie. He doesn't owe you shit, all right? He's here to entertain, same as the wrestlers are, and this is a moment for them, not for you. So, I don't know, like, it's great that the fans can go to it. I know that's never going to change, and it probably shouldn't. But God's sakes, guys, have some fucking manners, all right? Just common sense. If that even exists on this planet anymore, use some common sense, all right? Because I was excited to watch the Hall of Fame induction of all the people for this year, and frankly, the New Jersey crowd ruined it for me. They fucking ruined it for me. They put me in a foul mood. And yeah, I'm probably taking it too seriously, but that's kind of my job. I'm the wrestling fan. I gotta talk about shit like this because there are fans out there who pull stunts like this. And they're idiots. Fucking idiots. Ungrateful little shits that don't deserve to be wrestling fans. So, that was fun. And I feel a lot better now, actually. I've been holding that in since last night, since I got WrestleMania 29 and watched the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So it's pretty good to get that out. So in the future, have some manners, common sense if you're going to the Hall of Fame induction. The next day at WrestleMania, you can do whatever you want and chant whatever you want and go crazy. That's the point of a pay-per-view or a live event or a television taping or a live television show. That's the point. Fans have the privilege to do that. A Hall of Fame induction, I don't think so. So, take care, kiddies. This is The Wrestling Fan. Until next time.
Space Monkey Mafia Studio.